Aquarius, welcome to your April love reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Aquarius when it comes to love in April. Okay. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What are the major themes for love for Aquarius in April? Have a look. Oh, that came out quick. The Wayfarer and Fullness. Oh, wow. Look at that. I love when this happens. Aquarius, you are definitely moving towards someone or something. Card 55 and 56. I've been shuffling this deck all day. You saw me shuffle it. So card 55 is Fullness and card 56 is the Wayfarer. Okay, so looking at these two cards together is very interesting because they come in succession. The Fullness card is all about this idea that there is a lot of force in you right now. You're really starting to become determined and focused towards something, and you're really living out your story when it comes to how you feel authentically. You're not holding back. Your feelings are, it's like you're being faced with something right now, and it's creating this overwhelming sense of fullness, wholeness, complete. I wonder if you have sort of recently met someone or recently reunited with someone. It's interesting. I'm asking that because I feel like in this card, the Wayfarer, you've traveled quite a distance. You've traveled, you've had a lot of experiences, and now as you move from one experience to the other, meeting people and sort of being the Wayfarer, it's almost like something has got you either continuing to just keep moving around, or you have found something in the journey where you're ready to say, this is it. It's interesting. You know, it's almost like you get to a moment where you're like, this is it. This is it. And then something happens and you feel like, nope, I got to keep moving. But seeing these two cards together makes me think that you have found something that you're like, okay, this could actually be it, because I feel this overwhelming sense of wholeness and completion and fullness. It's almost like a fiery blaze within you that is like canceling all your inhibitions and saying, this is it. This is it. I'm done traveling. I'm done looking. I have found where I feel whole and complete in love. So that is really interesting. But I almost feel like your tendency before was to move around a lot. You know, it was, oh look, the Star card with the page and the 5, all in reverse. This is intriguing because this represents you. And I'm going to put them back in to see if they come back out. But just looking at them, because they just kind of slipped out of my hand, the Star card, the Page of Cups, and the 5 of Cups, you're longing for something from the past. You want to, I'm keeping them. I'm keeping them, Aquarius. This resonates with all your other readings. This is you, the Star card. So you feel out of sorts because you are wanting to call back something from the past that now you understand was the real deal. And your tendencies were to always sort of move around, to meet people and keep going, right? Keep going, almost restless. And now as we'll see what happened here. What happened? You never got over this person. You want to bring this back to life, but it's all in reverse. So there must be a challenge or an obstacle here. Let's find out what that could be. It could be because it's a past connection. And I feel like it's a past connection because of that 5 of Cups. It's so interesting. Okay, Aquarius, what are the obstacles in love right now? What was that? 10 of Cups. Something that ended in the past. Yeah. You got very serious with this person. 10 of Cups. You may have been married to them. You may have been in a very committed relationship. Or you may have really put them in that basket when you were with them in the past, that this was it. And it didn't turn out. Something happened. And maybe that's what's creating the obstacle for you to approach them in the present, is that whatever happened in the past, it's not this ended in not a great way. Not a great way. And there's no judgment, but this had an ending that was painful. That's all I mean by not a great way. It was a painful ending. It was a painful ending in a very committed relationship that you want back, because now you recognize it. Maybe you've transformed. Seeing that Page of Cups perhaps is speaking to the transformation that has occurred to you since you and this person have been separated. And now you see the fullness of that connection. But maybe you didn't recognize it at the time because, that happens. That happens. You've evolved, you've changed, you've seen, maybe you've had other relationships since then that have kicked your butt. And you're like, man, oh man, that was the thing. That was the connection that I should have hung on to. That's what this feels like. 3 of Cups, yeah. So you felt like this was your friend. This was someone you could celebrate joy with. This was a connection that you could have truly carried forward, but something happened to sort of create an obstacle for you guys. And it's interesting. I was asking about the obstacle and the 3 of Cups came out. So perhaps the thing that created the obstacle was a third party. Perhaps it was people meddling. Perhaps there were people that seemed well-intentioned, but actually that was what created the obstacle. And maybe they didn't even intend to create the obstacle. It just happened by virtue of the situation. The Moon. Yeah, there was more to this. Beneath the surface, there was some stuff going on. And it had an impact on your connection. 8 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. You're overthinking this now because I don't blame you. I mean, I think a lot of stuff happened in this connection. And you're not sure what lies beneath. You're not sure if you can return to this person now that you see things differently. Considering the ending, oh, that's too many cards. Considering the ending, maybe that's what's creating the obstacle. 9 of Pentacles. Okay, perhaps the obstacle is that you don't want to leave your comfort zone. You don't want to leave your standing. Right now you're in a place, I think you guys are in separation. You guys don't talk anymore. But it feels like you don't want to lose the upper hand. You don't want to lose what you've built in the absence that you've been apart with this person. Or it could also be that you feel you can't approach them because you can't. You just feel like it would be too, gosh, the word coming to mind is like humiliating. I don't know if that resonates or not, but it almost feels like 9 of Pentacles in reverse is a time where we don't have the confidence in where we're at, or we're completely guarded. It's one of the two. It's sort of this idea that you're either really, really guarded, but why are you really guarded? That's something to explore. Or you just don't feel like you're in the best place to go approach someone that they could, if depending on how it went, it could be too devastating. You're not in a place where you feel ready to take a chance because of where you're at. Or you're very guarded. You're in a position where you're feeling like you have to stay guarded. And look what's on the bottom of the deck. 2 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, this is a trick question, right? This is a tricky question. Not a trick question, a tricky question. Because you're not sure how this is going to go. You're not sure what will happen if you try and reconcile. And you're worried about it. You don't trust the timing. You want to work hard at creating a passionate new beginning, but you're not willing to take that leap of faith. You do feel like you missed an opportunity with this person, and I think you're having a hard time imagining the future without them. But at the same time, are you willing to take the first step? No, not yet. You're not willing to take the first step, and maybe it's because that there's a lot of differences of opinion around you. 3 of Cups, right? Maybe there are people around you that are saying, forget about that, forget about that. You know, who knows? Or maybe you just don't feel confident that it'll work out. You might not feel confident that you can overcome any obstacle with this person because of how it ended when I look at these two tens. It's very interesting, Aquarius. I wonder, you know, we've been seeing this in your readings for a long time, that there is a connection that you're wanting to bring back to life. And I wonder, will you go for it or not? Will you go for it or not? I guess we'll find out in April. I'm sending you so much love and light, Aquarius. I'm going to leave it at that for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, and I hope to see you again very soon for another one. Take care.